You're preparing to live stream the meeting. The meeting's now live streamed.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's Coordinating Overview and Scrutiny Committee meeting, dated the 6th of September 2021. I will kick off with apologies for absence and notification of substitute members. Any apologies?
We have apologies from Councillor Karen Cooper.
Noted. Have we just lost someone off of the call, I think?
Rosie Herring's disappeared.
We have, we've lost Rosie. Should we give her a second just to come back in?
She's just been readmitted to the meeting.
Councillor Herring, can you hear us? Just want to check before we crack back on.
I'm sorry, I something came up about live streaming, and I tried to get rid of the notice that had come up and managed to exit myself completely from the proceedings. So I'm now back on. Sorry.
That's fine. Okay, so second is declarations of interest. Are there any interests to declare that haven't already been done so at the beginning of the year?
Nope.
Take that as a no.
Nope.
Cool. Agenda item number 3. So to confirm the minutes of the meeting of the committee held on the 21st of July 2021. Assuming everybody has reviewed the minutes, are there any amendments, queries, etc. from anybody?
Not an amendment, but just has there been any follow-up from my, I think it was Catherine Whitehead who was going to take away the information that I gave about the contract for shoesmiths and the costs associated with said contract, and she was going to take it away, and I just wondered whether there had been any action on that or feedback.
Tracy or James, do you have anything on that?
Not that I'm aware of, but we can actually speak to the monitoring officer for you, Councillor Herring, and get back to you.
Thank you.
Cool. So other than that, is everybody in agreement that the minutes are a fair and true reflection of the meeting? Agreed.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yes. Okay. And announcements from the chair? No, nothing from me, as far as I'm aware, unless anyone needs to ask me to announce something on their behalf. Okay, and then number 5, so the work programming consultation process. So let me just bring that up on my screen. Sorry, everybody, I'm working off a tiny little screen today, so I'm having to switch between tabs. So we've got the draft work programming consultation document. So we've had a report prepared covering kind of the remit of the group. And then the process that we want to take to kind of get the whole thing up and running. I believe Tracy has prepared this report. So Tracy, if I can defer to you.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have anything to add because I think it's all there. It's for councillors to consider, to put your member input into it and to make any sort of additions or changes to it. I would like to point out a typo though, please, on page 16. Where it says talks about the work of scrutiny, and it says their work means that they will. It's got contribute to policy development and help develop major plans and strategies for Northampton. That should say West Northamptonshire. That's in your sort of draft covering email that will go to residents and groups, inviting them to put forward suggestions.
Fine. Councillor Herring.
I had one comment on the draft online questionnaire, and it was just because it makes us sound as if we haven't got any ideas of our own and we're going out to residents because we can't think of anything. And I just wanted to perhaps, a suggestion would be to change the second paragraph where it says the committees can look into any issues affecting residents. Whether we can add that the committees have prepared interim or draft list of issues to consider, but would welcome input from local residents for any other for what burning topics or whatever. It's just the way it's written sounds as if we are totally void of any thought process whatsoever, and that's not the case. And I wouldn't like our residents to think that that's the case.
Thank you, Councillor Herring. Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I think that's a fair point. Yeah, Councillor Bambridge.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I would perhaps add that if we do a list of the forward work that we're looking at the moment and considering, perhaps we cherry pick them, I don't know, but certainly put them all up and invite residents to perhaps give feedback to those as well, because if they give their input on things that we haven't considered, we'd like to hear their views on things we are considering. I think that would be quite useful as well. Don't know what the others think.
Could I add a comment on that paragraph as well? Third issue to me is a little bit negative, but it could read something like the committee can look into any matter affecting residents. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. That's more of a positive approach.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that, I think. Yeah. Has anyone else got comment back on that?
No,
Or
I
just
think
generally,
comments.
Yeah.
Good point.
Cool. Okay. And any other comments kind of in general on bits just picked up throughout the report by Tracy on any of the appendices or in the main body of the report?
We use the word issue, I haven't found proof the whole document as a whole, but else is it worth looking to see if we can substitute it for matter elsewhere as well if it's been used?
Chair, it is actually said in the suggestions to relate to a service, event or issue in which the council has a significant stake, so it does expand it. I don't know if that's...
I do think there is a case for referring to issues, because issues suggest a problematic that needs looking at and resolving. So not all matters are issues, are they?
No.
But issues are very definitely the role of the scrutiny groups. We want to know what the issues are, what the problematics are.
Subject would be a good word.
I think you can just leave on them.
Sorry, Joe, you're a bit patchy on your connection. I think I'm missing every other word.
Fine, yes, we could use subject and the other one to use issue, but a matter instead. I'm happy for just the one amendment. Is the questionnaire.
Fine. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Is everyone in agreement with that? Just the one amendment then on that, and then because in general it seems to be fairly clear because we've got different language being used throughout reports and things.
So long as it's taken up that, however Tracy wants to wordsmith the thing that we are working already on a list, but we welcome the input of the public, to forward look or forward, plan. Because as I say, the way it's done is like we've been twiddling our thumbs for goodness knows how long, and we're just, asking, oh, what should we do? We'll stick a finger in the air. Yeah. So if Tracy can just deal with that and make it appropriate language, I'm happy.
Cool. Yes, Tracy.
Yeah, what I'll do, Chair, I will make the updates tomorrow and circulate it to you all for final comment. See if you want any more changes made to it. But I've got the gist of what Councillor Helen was saying, and then you might want to refine the wording slightly when you see it written down.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the other comment that I had was on the Appendix A in the proposed list of groups and organisations. From my point of view, for the people overview and scrutiny, I'd certainly like the health organisations to be included. So that's the NHFT and Northampton General Trust and maybe the CCG, because those are actual. I thought about GPs in general, but I thought that's probably going a bit too far. But certainly the formal ones. Sorry, James, you probably got a comment on that. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it.
No, not at all, Councillor Herring. I was going to say, would it also be logical to include Health Watch Northamptonshire as the
Absolutely brilliant. Yes, because that comes under
representative?
the community forum and voluntary groups, really, isn't it?
Cool. Any other comments? Just because I know points always pop into your head as people start saying other bits and bobs. Is there anything else that's coming up in people's minds about things, or are we generally happy with the report other than the few amendments that we want to make?
Yeah,
Yeah.
look forward to it.
Yes.
Generally,
Being
yeah,
implemented,
yeah,
yeah.
and we're kind of we're happy with the different methods that we want it to be communicated by, and everything else. I'm happy with everything that I've seen throughout the report, so that all seems good to me. And just checking on the recommendations section, just for comment and approval. So we just need to approve the report then. So is everybody agreed
Well,
to
just
approve? Or do
before
you want
we
to talk?
do that,
Yes.
I'm just looking again at that list of groups and following Rosie Herring's. Should the police be one of those bodies to involve?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it worth maybe as part of our approval just to say that we want to have, before the contacts are made, we have one final review of all possible groups that would want to be included in this? Because I think we're remembering one or two things throughout this meeting, but no doubt we're going to go away from this meeting and then we're all going to go, oh, what about X, Y, Z?
I think we need to be a bit careful about what it is we're trying to do here. To be honest with you, I'm not so much interested in what the police have got to say. I am really, really interested in what the residents have got to say. We're spending their money and we're their representatives. So I feel quite strongly, you know, that organised bodies have got their own way in to things. And of course, they're welcome to give evidence to scrutiny where that is appropriate. But I don't want to lose sight of what it is we're trying to do. We're trying to engage our residents. And for me, that's wider than just asking them their opinion. It's about saying to them that we know that we are their representatives and we're acting on their behalf. So whether they come forward with ideas or not, I think that engagement is still really a good one to have. And I think we mean it as well, don't we? We want their suggestions, but we'd also like people coming to give witness statements. We'd like them to sit in and see what we're doing. We want, for me, I think it's really lovely if we can create an understanding amongst our residents about what it is we're trying to do.
I think I
relationship that is interesting to me, I have to say.
Yeah.
I think I tend to agree now, thinking about it, and by adding health, yes, but by adding, you know, the bigger CCG and all that, and the police, thoughts about adding them now, because it is about it's the volunteers, the residents is targeted at, isn't it? Whereas, you know, the CCG and that have all got other routes in formally, so maybe the voluntary and community and residents.
Yeah, I just want to take what James's point and then we'll consider that. Thank you, Joe. James.
Thank you, Chair. It might be worth highlighting as well that what you're talking about doing is directing it to certain identified groups, but that's as well as more general means of communication, so press releases and use of social media. So any groups that don't receive it directly, it's not as if they're being excluded. There is a general communication as well as the targeted communication.
I personally am inclined to just try and get it as many relevant addresses and things that we have to send this to get it to as many people as possible, just so we get as many ideas as possible, whether it be bodies of some sort or more crucially residents. I don't see there being any damage in inviting extra people to comment. It doesn't mean we have to do anything with it. It's just useful to have the information, as opposed to saying we don't want to add them because we think it might cause an issue with the process or whatever. One other point for me, I think, I remember talking to Tracy about it, I think, and that is having an email system to keep residents that are interested in the loop with all of this. So whenever, yeah, I'll let Tracy, you fire away. I'm sure you have something to say.
Yes, sorry. Yes, we did have that discussion, Councillor Rimmons, and when the residents or whoever come forward with their suggestions, whatever the work programme will comprise of, they will always be informed of what the work programme consists of. Do they want to be involved in scrutiny? We can put their email address onto a notification so they get an email of the meetings for, say, corporate, place or scrutiny committees. It keeps them involved. As long as we go back and let them know what the work programme comprises, they know that they've had an acknowledgement of their suggestion. It can just be one email line copied to everybody that has suggested, and then they come back and you just add them then to the list of notifications on the committee management system.
Cool. Sorry, I will come to you in a sec, but just a quick comment from me. I'd be quite interested, is there a way, like say an email address that we have where we could give that out to the public just so they could respond back and say, right, I would like to be involved or on the list for the scrutiny processes at West Northamptonshire Council, just to be kept in the loop, and that we could all then share that into, I'm just thinking of, there's lots of community groups on like Facebook and things that I think there'd be quite a lot of it. That's where they're on specific issues like heritage and things, where if we were to ping that in, there'd probably be quite a few interested people that wouldn't have otherwise known about all of this going on if we were to send it to them. So I don't know whether we have a way of an email address or some other way through the website, maybe for people to sign up and say, I'd like to be kept in the loop and involved.
We have the generic Democratic Services email address, so we could use that, because that would be useful if you feel that would work. Yeah,
provided Democratic Services is happy to deal with the splitting out of however many emails are going to come in, then yeah, great. If you could just circulate that to us just so we're 100% sure on which is the correct one to use, that would be fantastic. Right, Dermot and then Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. The thing is that if we involve the comms team, they will be able to set up this for us, surely. I mean, the press release is going out. Perhaps we could put that, perhaps scrutiny at West Northants or something like that address might do it. Sorry about the phone, somebody will answer it in a minute. But I think we need to involve the comms team, because the other thing that we've got to work on quite hard is the social media side of it, and that will be the expertise of the comms team to do that. Certainly at South Northants we were reasonably good at doing that, and we've got some of our team are now on the West Northants team, so they're fairly good at doing that. So it gets out and about, particularly the Facebook community sites. That's going to be a good one. And also going through the parish councils. When we write to the parish councils to say perhaps they could publicise them in whatever way they normally do, they can put it out on their websites, etc. So we spread the word that way, because I agree with Danielle. It's very important to get the people in the real life to come back, and they quite often come up with things we'd never thought of that are very important.
Yeah, great. Joe and then Tracy.
I was only going to say, on the consultation and the splitting with emails, we've had a recent consultation with members in another area, and it said in the email, please give your name, address and comment, which I did, an email to this address. And then I promptly had an email back saying, can you fill this information in on a form? Now that is just duplicating, and I think makes us look a little bit ridiculous. I did feed my comments back at the time. If we're going to accept emails, which I think we should, then we should just cut and paste them into the form. We shouldn't then be sending the form back out to say, just cut and paste what you've sent us in via email into this form. It was just a pet subject of mine that I thought was, a waste of resources.
Well, and it won't happen, will it? I had that email and I haven't done it because life's too short.
Yeah, they'd had my in an email in the format they want back from me refilled in. I said, can you cut and paste my comments in?
It's about officer capacity,
yeah.
though. I do worry about that.
Mm.
I do worry about it. As you'll hear me say ad infinitum.
On that point, then I suppose can we leave that with Tracy, James, and Democratic Services in general to sort something on that?
With the Survey Monkey, there will be no question asking for account for the respondents to actually give that information again. It will be taken straight from the survey. And if respondents email Democratic Services email, they won't get asked that question either.
Cool. Okay. In that case, are there any further points from anybody on anything?
No, I think it's very good.
Yeah, I'll take that as a no. So
Process, I have to say, it'll be great. You know, new authority, lots of engagement. I think it's good. It's a good thing to do. I look forward to it.
yeah, fantastic. In that case, then, are we all happy to approve the draft consultation process?
As amended.
As
As
amended.
amended. Yes, good point. As amended. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
I will take that as agreed. Perfect. Okay. Urgent business. I'm not aware of any, unless Democratic Services or anybody else has got anything. Nope. And then I think that's it. Exclusion of press and public. I don't believe there's any private items or anything to talk about. In which case, unless anybody has an objection, I will close the meeting.
Lovely. Thanks, Sam.
All fair. Brilliant.
I'll
Thanks
stay
all.
on with James. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just end live streaming for you.
Brilliant. Right. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye.
James, I need to assign you as the host before I can leave.
Yep. Is it? I've still got a live on YouTube note on my screen. Is that just because it's 30 seconds behind?
Sorry about it. That internet connection's absolutely dreadful. You should be host now.